excited. We're getting close to Christmas, and I'm really happy because we're finally done with all of our crazy scheduled activities, and next week it's going to be just about baking and singing carols and watching Christmas movies, having hot chocolate. So it's going to be just like all of our family traditions, which I cannot wait for. So today we're going to make some homemade marshmallows, and we're going to use real marshmallow root and maple syrup and vanilla. It's going to be all good things in these marshmallows, and of course some gelatin. And then we're also going to make a batch of freshly milled cookies so that we can take those to our old neighbors. We had a precious lady who allowed us to live in her rental house while we were dealing with a wildfire near our home, and she was like our guardian angel that whole year. She was such an answer to prayer. So we're going to go take her some cookies, and the neighbors that we had there do a little caroling and give them some cookies. So I'm going to work on these, and I'll take you guys along with me and show you how I make all of this. So for this recipe, what you're going to need is some gelatin powder. I really love this one from Perfect Supplements. It's very pure. You're going to need some maple syrup, vanilla, and this is optional, but I love to use real marshmallow root. So you can use just water, but we're going to make a marshmallow root tea, and we're going to use that as the base for our marshmallows, and it's going to be so good. Making these homemade marshmallows is really simple. It only takes a few minutes to throw everything together. It takes a little while to whip everything up and get the right texture on the marshmallows. So you just have to keep an eye on it. But overall, this is a very easy beginner recipe that your kids will love. Marshmallow root is amazing. It has mucilage that forms a gel, and this substance will coat any irritated membranes in your body, like your throat, anywhere that's struggling, like your digestive system, your stomach. It's really good for soothing that. It's great for leaky gut. It's great for different things in the body, and it's wonderful to add to these homemade marshmallows. Also has a really unique flavor. The first thing you're going to do after you've brewed your marshmallow root tea is you're going to add a cup of that tea to your mixer, along with the 3 tablespoons of gelatin and a splash of vanilla, and you're just going to mix that together for a few seconds, just kind of get it incorporated, and then you're going to let that sit and bloom the gelatin while we heat up the maple syrup. The next step is to heat up your maple syrup, and you want to heat it until it's to a rolling boil. And there are some more technical recipes out there that have you use a candy thermometer and make sure it reaches 240 degrees Fahrenheit. But honestly, I've never done that because I'm just honestly lazy. And these marshmallows have turned out great every time. So what I do is I just make sure it gets to a rolling boil for a little while, stir it up, and then immediately when I take it off the heat, I add it to the mixer. So you want to slowly pour this hot maple syrup while your mixer is running, and you want to turn your mixer up to kind of a medium-high speed. And you're going to let this mix for 5 to 10 minutes and just keep an eye on it. It's going to turn a pale color, almost white. Probably the trickiest part of making marshmallows is knowing the right texture of when it's finished. And you're going to see it form kind of soft peaks, and it'll stick to your spoon or your whisk after it's done. And at that point, you need to work quickly because it's going to set. So you want to immediately turn the mixer off and have your pan completely ready. So you want to line your glass 9x13 pan with parchment paper, and you want to immediately turn the mixture out into your pan with a spatula and spread it around quickly so that you make sure it doesn't set and stick to everything. Taking a little break, I am trying to get in 7,000 steps minimum a day. I'm not always successful, but this is something I'm trying to do for weight loss, and I absolutely love it even when it's cold. And sometimes I'll even get on the swing. We have the cutest little park next to our house that I really enjoy going to. Now it's time to run to our little hilltop grocery store. We've got this little country store that carries raw milk, so I have been loving this. So excited to have this just a few minutes from my house. So we're going to use this raw milk to make our hot chocolate. back home now, and my marshmallows have been able to set for around 6 hours. So you're gonna allow your marshmallow mixture to set for around 4 to 8 hours. And I like to leave them overnight if I've made them the night before, but after that time, they should be firm and you'll be able to cut them up into squares. And they turned out so good. I used marshmallow root tea and the gelatin from Perfect Supplements and maple syrup. I just love how jiggly these are. It's so much fun. And I love the fact that there's no food coloring, no sugar. These are completely healthy for you. And you can store these in an airtight container in the fridge. They'll last for about a week, but your family will probably go through these pretty quick. So now it's time to get started on our freshly milled cookies. And I love this recipe. It's basically just a normal chocolate chip recipe, but I am substituting freshly milled flour, which if you go back and look at any of my other videos or blog posts, you'll see that I'm a huge fan of, because fresh milled flour has like over 40 different vitamins and minerals in it. It's so much better for us. I also add a little bit less sugar to this recipe than a normal chocolate chip recipe. Because the freshly milled flour has so much flavor, you actually don't need much sugar. And I actually think they taste way better, even with a smaller amount of sugar. So I just use a cup of brown sugar, and I don't use any white sugar at all. And of course, we've got the 2 sticks of butter in there, and we've got the chocolate chips, which are also sweet. And it's just such a good recipe. I also want to take a minute to explain how much I love my new Bosch mixer. The thing that's great about it is it can handle super light and fluffy items like marshmallows, but it can also handle really dense, heavy recipes like multiple loaves of bread at once, and it's like no problem. It just can cut through it like butter, but it's also great for things like cookies. So it's just really versatile and super heavy duty. So if you want to look into this, my code is HCH, and you can get a discount on the Bosch and on the Nutrimel. I'm also incredibly grateful this year. Our family has gone through a lot in the past few years, and I've struggled a lot with my health. And so just the fact that I can make cookies for other people and make so many things for my family, it just brings me so much joy. And I have so much gratitude this year, even more than in past years. And I know that that is something I will continue to carry with me throughout my life. And I'm just so grateful to God. These cookies turned out so amazing. I know our old neighbors are going to love them. And I hope you guys enjoy the marshmallow recipe. Please let me know in the comments if you've ever made marshmallows. And if so, did you do it a different way, or was there a different flavor or technique that you tried? And you can also find the full recipe on my blog, healthychristianhome.com. I will have that linked in the description for you guys.